Check 1 2. Check 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. I'm still turned down for the drums. Check 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Check 1 2 3 4. Check. Sounds good to me.
It's a little low. Keep talking.
Sounds good to me right here. Check 1 2 3 4.
I'm gonna have to turn my ears down.
Check.
Hi, Harry.
1 2 1 2 3.
He's nearly dead.
1 2. Give me some more ear if you don't mind. 1 2 3. 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2.
Is that too much ear?
7. No, that's good. I like it. 1 2 3. 7 8 9 10.
I have to turn
1 2.
Turn it up when they come up here.
1 2 3 4 5. 1 2.
The following is a presentation of Radio Alabama Sports. This broadcast is copyrighted by Radio Alabama for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast, descriptions, or accounts of the game without Radio Alabama's consent is strictly prohibited.
All things Clay Central football are here now. This is the Football Fiesta, sponsored by Catch 'em All Sporting Goods, Heroes Painting, Farr and Associates Injury Attorneys, Young's Drugstore, Perryland Foods, Everything Sports, and Clay and Coosa County District Attorney Joe Fickwet. Now, here are Coach Chris Herron, Coach Jerry Weems, and Rusty Taylor.
Who can you hear live from Monte Albon Bar and Grill on Ashton Square? This is Rusty Taylor, and as you just heard Coach Chris Hare and Coach Jerry Weems, we are here for our final football fiesta of the season after the Vols fall in the quarterfinal round last week, 14-0 over the Viger Wolves. Man, good to be back. You hate to be doing the last one, but it is good to be back in here on a rainy Tuesday afternoon. With everything's kind of changed up here. We decided to move it up to Tuesday because obviously Thursday is Thanksgiving and Wednesday had conflicts. So here we are. How y'all doing?
Doing good, Rusty, and it's good to be back here with you for the final time this season in football.
Absolutely. As we look through this, just kind of lay this thing out, we're going to be looking, first of all, in the first segment, we'll be looking at last week's game against the Viger Wolves. Then in the second segment, we'll be having our AGL Solid Waste Authority Player of the Year. We'll be having him and his position coach. We haven't even announced that yet, and I still haven't announced it. So have y'all announced? Did y'all announce it this week?
No, we've sat on it. But
we're
just waiting until
let's just wait to that segment.
6:15. I'm for it.
We'll be having a.
That'll make people want to keep listening.
We'll have a coordinator in here.
Yes, we will.
We won't even mention who that's going to be. We'll be having a coordinator in here with us, as Coach Horn was unable to be here today, but he did get somebody to fill his shoes, and they'll do a great job. But so we'll be doing that in the second segment. Third segment, we'll be looking at the year-end stats, our final stats for the Volunteers. We've got some interesting ones, so we'll be looking at that, a little bit more about the past season during that segment. And then in the last segment, we'll be looking around the state at probably all 7 brackets, with 6 of them being in semifinals and 7A already in their finals. So that's kind of what the show should look like. But, man, we look back at last week, the Vols fall 14-0 down at Viger. And I tell you, you look back, you watch it on film. I know you've done that. You see the opportunities, and the Vols did have their opportunities to score a couple of times. And obviously, you know, if you do, you're right there with them. But you got to give the Viger Wolves credit. Just a very, very good, very well coached, very athletic team. And I think we talked about it, and I think it's safe to say we've played Viger in the past. We played them a couple times, and they've always been very, very good. But in my opinion, that's the most disciplined, well-rounded team that we've seen of the Vigers. Now, we might have seen more talented teams possibly, but as far as special teams and all being solid, that's the more well-rounded team I remember. And
they did a good job with their talent in the right places. The right schemes that really fit what they were trying to do. And they moved people around on defense. They made adjustments. They did everything that good coaches would do during the course of that game. As I said, they made adjustments. They took advantage of some of our, I guess you would call, they knew where they wanted to go, and they took advantage of some places on our defense from their offensive standpoint. So just a well-prepared team. And they'll be hard to deal with, even with Williamson this week. I think it'll be another great game between those two.
You know, if it wasn't so far down there, Taylor, that's a game I wouldn't mind seeing Friday night.
Absolutely. I'll be probably looking it up on NFHS and following along with that one because I'm expecting it to be a good one. Of course, Williamson won the first one in overtime You know, you get reports from down there that some people think that Williamson may be a little bit better, a little bit more difference in between the two teams than that. You know, from what you get down there, they feel like Williamson's a little bit better than that. Probably a couple touchdown favorite in that game by people down there. But we'll see. That's hard to believe that there'd be a couple touchdown favorite. But we'll watch and see on Friday. But when you look back at it, Sammy Dunn, their quarterback, was really the difference maker. We'd watched him. We'd talked about him throwing the football all year. He did throw the football, but the difference maker was his legs and their running game on Friday.
Well, and it was about half and half. You know, half of it came on scramble plays where they were actually pass plays, but he used his legs to get out of trouble and create some big plays. And then the other half, a big part of it came on zone reads where he ended up keeping the ball, and we overplayed the fake to the back, but he made some great plays on the zone read. And then they had a few other call plays for him as well, some leads and a counter they ran one time and a sweep. So they did a lot of things. You know, they got the ball in the right person's hand for sure.
Well, when we look back at the stats, you know, they'd been about 50-50 run and pass, you know, and thereabouts. Well, they ran the ball 40 times and threw it 19. So you see they relied on their rushing. They rushed for 211 yards and passed for 103. So, but when you look at that, talking about the volunteer defense, you know, if somebody would have told us coming into that game we were going to hold that powerful offense to 14, I think we would have really liked our chances and felt really, really good about it.
Well, you're right, Rusty, but the problem was they held us to 109 total offense, and no other team we faced in several years has been able to stop our running game like they did. And, you know, we just never could get in. We tried, you know, to do different things, showed them different looks, used different people, but we just never could run the football, and that really hurt us offensively because it put us into some predictable plays where they could load up and come after us, and boy, did they do that with their front four. And so they did a good job defensively as well.
Well, one thing that I think kept the game, when you look at the stat line, we had 109 total yards for their 314. I think there was a couple of things there that kept the game reasonable, very close, and two of those. But the first one would be turnovers. We intercepted them on the first play. Taylor Boyd had a big interception. And then they also fumbled and lost a fumble when they was driving inside the 10 on a first down. So big plays. And then their penalty yards. They were penalized 11 times for 85. We were only penalized 3 times for 15 yards now. We know one of those penalties was huge. It may just show as 15 yards, but that long 40-something yard pass play down inside the 10 was obviously a backbreaker right off the bat. You know, you wonder if we go ahead and don't get that lineman downfield called, and I've looked at it more this week, it was a lot closer than a lot of people said when you look at it. I mean, I'm not saying he wasn't downfield, but it was by half a yard.
Coach Horn was upset about it, and you know, he was actually blocking a guy on the line of scrimmage and got carried that far. So, you know, I would think if you're engaged with a guy and that happens, that you wouldn't call downfield. But they did, and it really negated a huge play. And, you know, had we scored there in that situation, you don't know. I mean, momentum might have been with us. You don't know what might have happened.
Yeah, you wonder.
That was certainly a big play.
A big play. So even though we were only penalized for 15 yards, that one calling that not a touchdown, but the throw down inside the 10 when we had all the momentum there would have been huge. But you look back at it, Coach Herron, I know you watch close up front and the on both sides of the football. And, you know, Viger, you know, we always talk about winning and losing the game on the fronts. And I think really Viger pretty much won the game throughout from everywhere, front and in the backside.
Oh, yeah. I think, start to finish overall, they controlled the line of scrimmage on us both ways Friday night. We had our moments here and there, had some opportunities. We've mentioned already the play, the pass down inside the 10 about the 6-yard line and get that call back. And, like you were saying, Taylor, that we showed 3 penalties for 15 yards, but that one there, that's really like a 40-yard penalty. Because you take away the completion yards there that would have on that play. So, you like to think if that play had gone our way, you had a couple others over in the second quarter. We had a missed opportunity down inside the 20, 25-yard line in that area. So, but they just did a good job defensively. Viger did their front, giving us a few different looks. And just, the way they attacked our front and just, big and strong and maybe a little bit better, a little bit more speed. Speed was a big difference. When some of our misdirection stuff, they were able to false step and then recover and get back and make plays and that type of thing. And, overall, rough night for the Vols, both sides of the ball. Again, we had our moments here and there, but, pretty much the game won and lost there on the line of scrimmage, and their quarterback. Just, gosh, what a tremendous job. And it almost like that changed during the game. Early on, he didn't seem to be involved that much in the running game as far as called runs. But as the game progressed into the second half, more of the zone reads, the counter reads, that type of thing, and him keeping the ball and running, and a heck of an athlete. It was their quarterback.
And Rusty, looking back, in spite of the fact they outgained us by over 200 yards, and in spite of the fact we struggled offensively in the second half, with 2 minutes left in that game, it was just 7-0.
Yeah.
We were one play away.
And we had the football with it 7-0, with 4 or 5 minutes left.
That's right. We did.
So we had a chance to go to get something going. But
right.
Give Viger credit. They kind of shut us down, and when they knew we had to throw the football, that was kind of played into their hands with their speed up front. Jabaris, they call him Chicken Guerra, is what they call him. Maybe that's because he's committed to Alabama. I don't know. But no, y'all didn't even snigger or nothing about that. But anyway, but Chicken or Jabaris Guerra, the commitment, the junior commitment. Now, this is another thing I wanted to mention. We mentioned it last week, but you got to think about this. And very few seniors on that Viger football team. Think about what – we're looking at the starting list right now. One senior on defense.
Wow.
And that was number 10, Mike L. Tucker, the 5'10", 175. All those guys should be returning.
Well, you got to remember, though, down in that area, there's a portal.
They may be returning somewhere else.
There's a portal, yeah.
They could be returning somewhere else. And when you look on the offense, now the big loss on the offense for them will be the quarterback, Sammy Dunn, him being a senior. And then they got a couple of wide receivers, Jared Holcomb, I think it's Garrett Holcomb. He got hurt in that game. We don't know if he'll be available this week. But then he was one of
number 4.
Number 4.
Yeah.
And number 8, Dylan Jackson. Those two wide receivers were the main wide receivers. But Zy Wilson, the sophomore, is the one that caught the touchdown pass. Yeah. And the running back, wasn't it a backup running back running the touchdown in? I'm pretty sure it was. It was a backup running back run. But Demetrius Johnson done a great job, and he's just a junior. So, and one senior guard, the big 6'1", 350 guy, the rest of the offensive lineman back. So, be keeping an eye on Viger as they continue to move forward.
They'll find them a quarterback because they brought in Dunn just this year from Bayside Academy. So
there's plenty of options down in that area, so for sure.
A lot of things go on down there.
Coach, you wound up today, ain't you? What you been doing to him, Mary?
I don't know. He's fired up.
He
started the morning that way.
Well,
it's a holiday, Coach.
Well, maybe he'll feel better tomorrow. Big special day tomorrow. Over for the
yes, it is.
For Classic Country Mornings.
Big morning.
Maybe when he brings that ice, he'll feel better about it. I don't know.
Cool him off a little.
He is wound up though.
Yeah,
he's wound up about it down there. But we did look at Williamson. They're not far apart, but it's a little bit farther than I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
They're both down there in Mobile County, but it's about as far across there as you can get. It's probably 25, 30 miles?
Probably another 30 or 40 minutes at least.
From Viger to Williamson?
Yeah.
It's just in Mobile County.
I didn't realize that.
It's not necessarily city of
Well,
Mobile.
we look this down below I-10
Yeah,
is where it's
Mobile
at.
County.
So, on the other side, west side, southwest side of Mobile. So, and I may be, well, you got to realize 30 or 40 minutes there is not.
Don't have to be
Don't
far.
have to be far. So, but it's down below I-10. So, well, I tell you what, let's take our first break here on Football Fiesta, and we'll be welcoming in our AGL Solid Waste Authority Player of the Year and also a defensive coordinator. I'll give you another hint, and you'll see who it is when we come back right here on Classic Country 90.9.
When you think about the places that make a place like Lineville feel like home, Young's Drug Store has stood out for generations. For decades, Young's Drug Store was a place that folks would drop in for freshly squeezed orangeades, lemon sours, and hand-dipped ice creams. Now with 2 locations to serve this community, Young's Drug Store is located on Highway 48 in Woodland and still serving Clay County, but at the Lineville location on Highway 9. Young's Drug Store is proud to sponsor Classic Country 90.9 and the Clay Central Sports Network.
Farr and Associates Injury Attorneys handles a range of serious injury cases, including auto accidents, 18-wheeler crashes, motorcycle and boating accidents, wrongful death, premises liability, and workplace injuries. Their attorneys provide direct legal support throughout each case. Known for professionalism and client-centered service, the firm emphasizes trust and communication. Info is at tfarlaw.com, TPHARR law.com, or 256-487-6080. Farr and Associates Injury Attorneys is a proud sponsor of the Clay Central Sports Network. No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than those by other lawyers.
Perryland Foods is a locally owned grocery store that has been serving the Lineville community since the early 1970s. They are located in downtown Lineville and are open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. More information is available by calling 256-396-5663. Perryland Foods is proud to sponsor Football Fiesta on Classic Country 90.9.
This is District Attorney Joe Fickwit serving Clay and Coosa counties. Telephone and online scams targeting our citizens are on the rise. If you get a suspicious call, hang up immediately and report it to your local law enforcement. Never give out personal or financial information over the phone. Let's protect our citizens and stop these criminals in their tracks. Stay alert, stay safe.
District Attorney Joe Fickwit is a proud sponsor of the Clay Central Sports Network. For over 40 years, folks have turned to Heroes Painting for dependable quality work. Whatever needs painting, Heroes Painting will paint it, as long as it's not a car. From homes to barns, new construction or remodels, and everything else in between, Heroes Painting has you covered. Heroes Painting is available by phone at 256-276-0463. That's 256-276-0463. Heroes Painting is a proud sponsor of Football Fiesta and Heroes Hotline on Classic Country 90.9.
We welcome you back here to Football Fiesta live from Monte Alban Bar and Grill on Ashland Square. This is Rusty Taylor. Coach Jerry Weems, now Coach Chris Heron, has given up his spot for the AGL Solid Waste Authority Player of the Week and Defensive Coordinator, Coach Burkhalter first. Good to have you, Coach.
Thank you, Rusty. Good to be here.
And Taylor, you spent half the year with us, but we got Taylor Boyd, our AGL Solid Waste Authority Player of the Year. So congratulations, first of all, Taylor, on a great senior season.
Thank y'all.
I know it didn't finish like you wanted. I know it didn't finish like you had planned, but we're going to be looking at some things that you did do this year. But since we've got Coach Burkhalter, I wanted to talk to him about you defensively. Coach Burkhalter, I know he played a lot offensively and defensively, but was a key contributor there at safety for you. And I tell you, his speed running that alley was impressive.
It is. You know, he's played the last several years as a safety, and he really did a great job on offense, but he still did a great job on defense. Taylor's one of the hardest hitters I've ever been around coaching high school football. And I've had 2 or 3 that could really hit that I've been around. Taylor was a hitter.
Well, I tell you, you go back to the first place from scrimmage on Friday night. We talk about that. You know, they tried to get a big one on us deep, and Taylor made them pay for it right there. So just a great play.
Right. He did a good job on his coverage, and something we don't give him credit for. He makes a lot of the calls on defense for the secondary according to how the offense is lined up. So him and Caden had the privilege or the responsibility to change the coverage or call the coverage to what they thought we needed, and I thought he did a real good job on that.
Well, Taylor, looking back at that play before we really start recapping, and we'll talk just a little bit about last week, but that play, that obviously gave us a lot of momentum, was kind of taken away by that lineman downfield call actually there. But talk about that play and what you saw on that play, and because it was a great play, and you actually made it look easy.
Yeah, well, they had trips on one side and they came back to motion. And then the outside dude did a little stop and go, and I kept my eyes on him the whole time, so I knew he was running a route. And then when I turned around, the ball was there, and I just grabbed it. Yeah,
big chance, and then you turn right around, you get a couple handoffs on offense there, make a couple of big runs. I think maybe 3 runs that you start with, and then you catch a pass.
Yep.
So you were involved in everything to start with, and of course the pass reception ends up being call back, but we'll never know what the difference might have been if we go ahead and have that 1st and goal down around the 5. But again, a great play by you, a few great rushes, but then a great play by you to go up and make that catch in a one-on-one situation. And JT done a good job getting you the football right there too.
Which we put that play in practice this last week.
So it was he was going to you because I saw our H-back out in the flat, and I thought he's going to go him because he was open. Waldrop was open in the flat, but JT knew where it was going, and with one-on-one coverage, it was a wise move. I think it was 1st down right there. Maybe we just had a penalty or something, but it was a big play right there. It could have been, but we'll go back and look a little bit. Well, Coach Wings, before we go on and look at the season, anything stood out to you about last week and seeing Taylor?
Well, another great performance by him, and, we come to expect that week after week. And the thing that's impressive to me about it, people see the offensive plays. That's what they remember. But he was just as crucial to our defense on that side of the ball as he was to the offensive side.
Was.
And when you really look at it, I know y'all keep the defensive point sheets like we always did, and you do different things to accrue those points. And he finished about 4th, I think, on the team in that total. And so, that means he was around the ball, he was making plays, he was doing things to get those points over the course of the year. So, I think it's to his credit that, it certainly wasn't an offensive deal where he wins this award because of his rushing stats. But, he was a football player, not just an offensive player.
So you go back, Coach, last Friday night, he punted about as much as he had all year in one game. You know what I'm saying? I think he had was it 6 punts last week that Taylor had, 6 punts, and he averaged 39 yards a punt.
Some of his best punts of the year.
So some big punts that again flip field position and changed a lot of opportunities. So a good job there. And he also done a lot of the field goal and extra point kicking this past year. But first, we're going to look the stat that obviously everybody wants to know, and it jumps out at you, or many of them will. But Taylor rushed the ball 175 times for 1,529 yards, 19 touchdowns, and 2 two-point conversions running the football. That's an average of 8.77 yards per carry. And Taylor don't have the chance to pad any stats because he's in there when it matters. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Running the football to get that high 8.77 yards. No wonder we gave it to him 175 times. If you're going to get average 8.77 yards, you're going to get it a lot. Taylor played some quarterback as well this past season when JT was out, and ended up getting to play a lot of Wildcat, but he played some quarterback and threw some passes there as well. But then we look at him on the receiving side. Taylor caught 7 passes for 140 yards, and that's a 20-yard average per catch and 2 touchdowns. So he also done a really good job there on the receiving side. We'll continue to look through some of Taylor's stats here. Taylor we talked about punts. He punted 35. Let's see, he punted 30 times for an average of 35 yards. Very solid job there punting. Most of those were unreturnable. As we continue to look down the list, he was 2 for 3 on field goals, which is really, really good as well. I mean, 2 for 3. He attempted a 31, 23, and a 34. We'll look on down. Taylor was also 21 of 30 on extra points, and on defense he had 3 interceptions this season there on the interception side. So big there, Coach. You mentioned his point totals when you continue to look at Taylor and what Taylor did. Taylor had 3 interceptions, 1 recovered fumble, 7 pass breakups, 47 unassisted solo tackles there, 47, and 30 assisted tackles for a total of 77, and his point total was at 182, and I think he is about 3rd on the team on the point total list, I think it is. Coach, if I'm just running down through there and not missing,
I think
or
he's
4th he is.
3rd
right.
in the number of tackles as well. Yeah. So,
yeah, 43 and 30, 46 and 31. And you hear that is from a safety, Coach Burkhalter.
Yeah.
But the way he played it and come up and fit on the run, right. I mean, he was playing a lot of that up around the line of scrimmage.
Right, he was. And you have to remember, he's always been a defensive player. This was his first year of really playing a whole lot of offense, wasn't it? He played some last year, but
very little last year. I think he filled in more the year before last when LaDamian went down that year. At the end of that season, I think he had to jump in there a lot more. So you're right. He's been a defensive guy, and to go in there and have those offensive stats. But
Taylor, by disposition, is a defensive player, I think.
It's pretty obvious out there. His physicality and ability there. Well, Taylor, just talk about the season. I know now it's still, obviously you're not happy. You wanted to go farther. You guys wanted to win a state championship, and you had the talent to do so. But when we look back at the season, and as you grow older and look back, 11-2 season, the 2 teams that beat you are still in the playoffs. You also defeated a team that's still in the playoffs in Scottsboro. So, I mean, coming into the year, you say 11-2 at this point, going to the 3rd round. I mean, yes, we wanted more, you wanted more, but it was a great year.
Yeah, well, I hate the season ending the way it did, but I feel like I had an outstanding season. I didn't think I was going to do all that, but I did. I had big shoes to fill because my brother was a running back, and I think I did.
I think obviously you did have big shoes to fill, and you did a really, really good job. And I imagine you're tired and sore a little bit to kind of get things stretched out.
Oh yeah, I'm beat up. My shoulder is so sore.
You have to move on to something else to get things stretched out there. But that's another thing I wanted to mention is him playing throughout the season. Now, there were some times he got banged up and would come out for just temporary things, but fighting through the season, as many downs as he played, I guarantee you go back through college, especially in 5A, and, there's probably very few people that played as many stamps as Taylor Boyd did, especially 5A and larger.
Right.
Coach Weems, what else did you see? We've talked about Taylor, out of Taylor this year that's been so impressive.
Well, he as you mentioned, that he did so many different things, and on both sides of the ball, all the specialty team stuff that he did. But Taylor, I want to ask you what's next for Taylor Boyd? What's your immediate plans?
Finish school, and I will play ball, but they got to come to me. I'm not going to come out of them.
Somebody's got to come.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, there was some the media guys down there the other night that's from the Mobile area, and they're like, who all's offered Taylor? I said, well, I'm not sure. They said, well, There should be if he was down here, there would be a long list of them. And I mean, it's sad, but it's true. It's sad, but it's true. You know, we don't get the looks that some people in other parts of the state do just because of numbers, and because they can go see those numbers down in that area really, really easy. But that's what they said. So you stood out a lot to a lot of other people throughout the state, and obviously you stood out to us. And it's obviously a team sport, and the team done well. But if we're just totally honest, and one of the reasons you won this award, without you performing like you did this season, the Vols are probably don't end up 11-2 and in the quarterfinals and only losing to two teams. Let's just be honest. It's a team sport, and you couldn't have done it without the other guys either. But you were very, very key for our Volunteers this year.
No question.
Well, Coach Burkhalter, as we get ready to give him this, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to say anything you wanted to say about Taylor. You've coached him for a long time there, and he's played for you in the secondary and wherever you needed him. Just speak to Taylor.
Taylor's started 3 years on defense, correct? At safety, he's always been one of the best defensive players we've had. And like the defense this year, we seemed to struggle early to find our personality, what we did well, and we got better. And a lot of that's the senior leadership from Taylor and a lot of the other seniors that we had, that we were able to get better on defense. And Taylor was always good, easy to work with. He's coachable. He didn't probably always like what I said, but he was always coachable. And you could count on him to be a good leader.
Well, Taylor, we wanted to give you a chance before we give you this award as well. Just to say anybody you want to thank or anything you want to say.
Just thank y'all for choosing me for this, and go Vols.
Absolutely. Well, at this time, we're going to award our AGL Solid Waste Authority Player of the Year for 2025 to Taylor Boyd. This is presented by Awards to Remember and the Clay Central Sports Network. Congratulations, Taylor.
Thank you.
Great job and a good year.
Great job, Taylor.
Thank you, Taylor.
Now listen to that. Got that fanfare going.
That's the loudest ovation of the year.
Yeah, as it should be, and well earned. We're going to take a break. We'll come back in just a minute on Football Fiesta right here on Classic Country 90.9.
Everything Sports in Woodland serves teams, schools, individuals, and businesses with custom gear and promotional items, including team uniforms, hats, T-shirts, banners, plaques, and business cards. Located at 1143 County Road 58 in Woodland, Everything Sports can be reached at 256-357-0336 and on Facebook. Everything Sports is proud to support Football Fiesta on Classic Country 90.9.
Do you crave flavor you can trust and a taste you'll remember? Do you know about a place that produces locally, naturally, and proudly? Blair Family Farm and Market is where quality meets tradition. Blair Family Farm and Market is open Wednesday and Thursday 1 to 6, Friday and Saturday 9 to 6 at 1015 Blair Road in Ashland. Blair Family Farm and Market now has all natural beef tallow and many other specialty products, including Smoke Eater smoked salsa.
When you think about the places that
eat
make
better
a place
at
like
Blair Family Farm and Market. Blair Family Farm and Market is the official farm to table meat provider of
For
the Clay
decades,
Central
Young's
Sports Network.
Drugstore was a place that folks would drop in for freshly squeezed orangeades, lemon sours, and hand-dipped ice creams. Now with 2 locations to serve this community, Young's Drugstore is located on Highway 48 in Woodland and still serving Clay County, but at the Lineville location on Highway 9. Young's Drugstore is proud to sponsor Classic Country 90.9 and the Clay Central Sports Network.
Farr and Associates Injury Attorneys assist clients in auto and motorcycle accidents, 18-wheeler collisions, boating accidents, wrongful death, medical malpractice, premises liability, and workplace injuries, and is known for compassionate, informed representation. Attorneys handle each case personally, not through case managers. Info is available at tfarlaw.com, tpharr law.com, or 256-487-6080. Farr and Associates Injury Attorneys is a proud sponsor of the Clay Central Sports Network. No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than those by other lawyers.
We welcome you back here to Classic Country 90.9 and volunteer our Football Fiesta. Live here from Monte Alban Bar and Grill on the Ashland Square. This is Rusty Taylor, Coach Jerry Weems, Coach Chris Herron, and also we're going to keep Coach Burkhalter in here with us. As we got to keep a coach in here with us as we look at these stats. And
you can look on here.
All
right, y'all. Can you hear down there, Coach Herring?
I'm good to go. Let's roll.
You ready
Let's
to go?
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna first look at the basic pages. Now, you guys, please jump in wherever you see fit or something you want to mention. But we're going first. I think it's good to compare ourselves to our opponents, and we'll see why we ended up 11-2 and did as good as we did. We had 174 first downs to our opponents 136. We rushed the ball 492 times to our opponents 411. Here's where the big difference is. Getting close to doubling them up here. 3,036 rushing yards. Our opponents had 1,642. Just almost doubling them up there on the rushing side.
And Rusty, you told us to jump in when we wanted to.
Absolutely, go ahead.
But I'm thinking out of our 13 games there, we held maybe 10 of those teams under 100 yards rushing. Is that?
That's probably close. We got better, I thought. Like I said before, when we started off, we was trying. It's hard. You learn what your players you've got can do and what works best this year, and we got better. And the front, as you know, was an experienced front coming back for the most part, and the defensive front got better and better. I thought we got to playing better,
and you held some very good teams under 100 yards.
Yeah, and y'all know that's what our goal is, to go in and stop the run. And it always seems if we think too much about the pass that it backfires on us. And y'all have all coached, we always go into the game saying we've got to stop the run and be able to run the ball. I know that's old-fashioned.
When you can take away that element, Coach, then you know pretty much what they're going to do.
Right.
Then it lets you start playing games with that front and doing some things,
Exactly.
Right.
Then you can run a little stuff.
Yes, exactly.
Gets a little more fun for the defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
sure. You make them one-dimensional.
Exactly.
Speaking about that, Coach.
And you run them in games, Coach. Some people just practice it. You
We
call one in the game.
Yeah. We try to save them, though, like the Scottsboro game, I remember, is when we ran the most stunts.
Right.
And
some people roll the dice.
Yeah.
But if you got the defenders filling the role and you're comfortable with them playing in a man-to-man situation or whatever you're putting them in.
Sure.
Well, Coach Burkhalter, I wanted to ask while we got you here from a defensive side, how fun was that group? You talked about the defensive front, impressive group up front with those three guys, and LaShamian Hardy had probably the best. We almost failed to mention he had his best game.
He had his best game against Geiger,
and his best the last two probably.
That's true, yeah.
And but that defensive front, just how fun was it when you could get pressure with three or four guys, and then you could play man or whatever, cover one, whatever you needed to do.
We played several coverages. We played some man. We probably played more zone. We played, which is sort of a matchup. It starts off zone, and then you match up and stay with the person you own, so it becomes man. And the whole defense is easy to coach. The way it is now with the spread offense, you have to have, like I said, Taylor and them would make calls. Cam would make a front call, and the call from the sideline, they'd have to change, because when they go no huddle, it's easier when they stand there and let you see, but if they're going fast, the
old school you knew what formation it was going to line up in. We just had to figure out which side was going to be strong.
Yeah, exactly.
That was all it used to be.
Going to be in the eye or the wishbone.
Yeah, and which side was they going to line up strong, or was they going to line up? That used to be what it was, but things have changed dramatically. But you had a good group of guys that you spoke about, your linebackers and your front and secondary that was able to make those calls and make changes and do it well. So that allowed that defense to just be – Coach, even going back to Friday night, against a very powerful offense, only giving up 14 points. I know you didn't want to give up any, but it was still the defense done their job, to be honest.
Obviously, we didn't feel like we played as well as we should have or could have defensively. When you watch the film, like these two know, when you watch the film, it's never as good as you hope.
But still, Coach, as powerful as they were.
They were.
We basically a one score.
Yeah, we were. I mean, you know how it is. We were nervous of getting them scoring a lot.
Yeah.
As they have over the year.
And I know we missed some tackles and stuff, but
yeah.
the athleticism
Give
that
them
they
credit
had
for some of
was
that,
just
yeah.
it's something we hadn't seen. I mean,
Right.
you can't show that in practice
No,
because
it's
we don't
hard.
have it to show.
Yeah, our scout team wouldn't be the scout team if they could do that.
And it's hard to play against. yeah,
That's right, Coach.
that's right.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. And they've been, you can't play. Your starter can't play against himself, so to
No,
speak.
and when we have them starting, you know, a lot of our receivers were defensive backs, or like Taylor's a running back, Caden's a receiver, Zamuki's a receiver running back, JD's the same, so the secondary's playing offense also.
Exactly.
As we continue to look a little bit, total yardage, you know, our passing yards, we threw for 1,000 yards, which is almost even with our opponent, really close at 1,000. But we also know J.T. Wilkerson, our main quarterback, missed those games, which definitely hurt our passing attack and those numbers there. But total yards, we were at 4,102 to their 2,771, our opponent. So still just dominating games. Their average yards per game, 315 to their 213. And total plays were about the same. Actually, our opponents had more total plays than we did, but that's a lot of big plays contributed in that, and then some other things. Number of fumbles. Here's where, and this is defense. We fumbled 13 and lost 9, which is a crazy number that you fumble 13 and lose as many as 9. But our opponents fumbled 34 times, which I contribute that to the defense, and we recovered 13 of them. Penalty yards.
We need more, Burke. If they're going to fumble 34 times,
yeah, we should.
We
get
need more than
of that.
13. Yeah,
we should have 20 at least.
Yeah.
Well, if we fumbled 13 and they had 9, that's just an unbelievable number there.
It is.
We talked about that about midway through the season, that's tough to do. Penalty yards, we were 694, they're 790. Points scored, 369 to 165. Everything, average points per game, 28.4. We end up giving up 12.7. Rushing TDs 40 to 12. Passing TDs are 11 to 6. So even though we didn't throw the ball much, we still doubled them up almost in passing touchdowns. We had 2 defensive touchdowns. Thank you, Coach Burke. It's always good to that. We were 2 for 3 on field goals, 31 for 44 on extra points. How about 20 for 21 on extra points was our opponents? We faced some good kickers, didn't we?
Well, we faced some really good kickers. If you remember Scottsboro.
Yeah, and he won that game for them last week at the end, kicked a field goal. That Scottsboro kicker. So we punted 34 times. They punted 51. Let's continue to I'm sorry, Coach. You want to just looking? I'm going to try to just hit a few guys at the top of each list. Rushing stats, we've obviously mentioned Taylor Boyd with 1,529 yards. Dalen Houston had 546. Dalen will be returning next year. He's a junior. Zion Ewell had a great year, kind of made the transition from wide receiver to running back, rushed for 455. J.T. Wilkerson passed for 696 and 6 touchdowns. I should have went back. Zion scored 9 touchdowns running the football. Dalen Houston 3 and Taylor 19. Obviously, there's some more there. Looking at receiving stats, Zion Ewell had 320 yards receiving, 6 touchdowns. Caden Glenn, 256 receiving. Taylor Boyd, 140 and 2 touchdowns. Trendon Glenn, no tight end there, 79, and he don't play it a ton, and 3 touchdowns, though, got himself on the board 3 times for 3 touchdowns. Did Trendon.
Trendon's very good defensive end, but he could have been a really good tight end, too.
Absolutely.
You could see it.
He was a good offensive lineman back in junior high, too. He didn't like it, but he was a good one. He you know, at that age, they let you know too much. They're like, I want to play defense. Well, if you want to play defense, you better get over and play some offense. So he had to do both back in those days.
A young guy that started coming on down the stretch, I thought, was J.D. Hall.
He did.
Yeah. For sure.
On both sides of the ball there.
Yeah, and he contributed at running back, quarterback, in those stats, and wide receiver. So he was a multi-talented athlete there on offense and starting at corner. So Taylor Boyd done most of the punting. He averaged 35 yards a punt. J.T. Wilkerson actually averaged 37 yards a punt on his pooch kicks this season. Zion Ewell was the main return man on punt returns. He had 10 returns for 89 yards. Kick returns kind of balanced out all over the place. J.D. was the leader there, though, in kickoff returns with 231 return yards. Taylor Boyd hit 2 of 3 field goals, extra points. Taylor Boyd was 21 of 30, but I wanted to mention Hudson Foster was 10 of 13, and Hudson will be returning next year, so just something to keep in mind. He may or may not be the one doing it, but he has the ability there with 10 of 13 this season. Looking at defensive stats, we mentioned Taylor Boyd had 3 interceptions. Zion Ewell actually had 4 and a touchdown receiving. J.D. Hall with 2 interceptions as well and a touchdown. Caden Glenn with 3. We look on down on the points, and I want to make sure I get this right. But, you know, Coach Burkhalter, you talked about the defensive points. And
yes.
Look at the points of one of your defensive linemen, Trendon Glenn. 315 points. That's amazing from a defensive end.
That is amazing. He was a playmaker.
He had 2 caused fumbles, 8 quarterback sacks, 2 pass breakups, 13 quarterback hurries, 14 tackles for a loss, 15 solo tackles, and 28 assist tackles. So a great year there. We just look on up the list there. Cam Mullins at 202 on the point total, had a great year. Miles Parker, also on the defensive line, 198 total yards. Miles really closed out the year playing really well.
Miles got better as we went along.
Cole Watts, another linebacker that will be returning there at 173. Taylor Boyd was at 182. And Amari Ward, I wanted to mention Amari because Amari's kind of one of them unsung heroes a lot of times, but Amari just makes plays, and he continued to do it down there Friday.
You know, he started at inside linebacker last year, and we moved him to outside because of the people we had. And you don't make quite as many tackles a lot of times at outside, but he graded well. He did his job. People tried misdirections on him. They never were able to get him on a misdirection. So
a great player, Amari, and he'll be missed for sure. Amari had that big tackle for a safety down at Sylacauga, 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. He's almost in every stat category when you look at him. That's what's interesting about him from his outside linebacker spot.
The last couple of weeks, and like at Viger, he made a great pass breakup by getting in the ball line, which we
yes, he did in the fourth.
That's harder to do than it looks. Coach knows that's a very hard thing to do.
Yep.
And we look at the tackles there, leading there in solo tackles for the season was Trendon Glenn, actually from his defensive end spot. Coming behind him was Cam Mullins and Taylor Boyd there in third on solos. And we look at assist. Cole Watts was the assist leader on the season. A good year by Cole. Obviously, Cam Mullins right behind him, Taylor Boyd and Trendon Glenn. So some good stat leaders, Coach Burkhalter, and honestly, you did a great job leading that defense.
Thank
and
you.
It got fun to watch, and you could get a touchdown or 2 lead and get a little comfortable there for us watching the game because you got the defense. And that 6-3 win at Pell City, that had to be a fun one for a defensive coordinator after it was over.
It wasn't fun during the game. I promise it wasn't fun. Oh, and, they missed a couple of plays. We always look at the film, but you're never perfect. You strive to be perfect, but you never are. It was a good group of boys to work with. Young men, I should say. You're a lot better coach the better the players are.
Absolutely. Well, y'all done a great job with them, and I will appreciate you sticking around here. Obviously, having that segment there, and
maybe your food didn't get too cold, Coach.
I've done ate a bunch.
It's
really good too. Yeah. Really good.
But we do want to give you one more opportunity to say anything you want to say. Appreciate you coming tonight, Coach Horn, unable to be here. Appreciate you coming in tonight and being with us.
Well, I just appreciate y'all, what y'all do, letting me come. And, the community here is great support. We couldn't ask for better support. It's a great place to coach.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, we appreciate you, and thank you for sticking with us here. We'll take another break right here on Football Fiesta Live from Monte Alban Bar and Grill as we'll have our last segment of the year of Football Fiesta when we come back.
Do you crave flavor you can trust and a taste you'll remember? Do you know about a place that produces locally, naturally, and proudly? Blair Family Farm and Market is where quality meets tradition. Blair Family Farm and Market is open Wednesday and Thursday 1 to 6, Friday and Saturday 9 to 6 at 1015 Blair Road in Ashland. Blair Family Farm and Market now has all natural beef tallow and many other specialty products including Smoke Eater smoked salsa. Support local and eat better at Blair Family Farm and Market. Blair Family Farm and Market is the official farm-to-table meat provider of the Clay Central Sports Network.
Everything Sports in Woodland serves teams, schools, individuals, and businesses with custom gear and promotional items, including team uniforms, hats, t-shirts, banners, plaques, and business cards. Located at 1143 County Road 58 in Woodland, Everything Sports can be reached at 256-357-0336 and on Facebook. Everything Sports is proud to support Football Fiesta on Classic Country 90.9.
For over 40 years, folks have turned to Heroes Painting for dependable quality work. Whatever needs painting, Heroes Painting will paint it, as long as it's not a car. From homes to barns, new construction or remodels, and everything else in between, Heroes Painting has you covered. Heroes Painting is available by phone at 256-276-0463. That's 256-276-0463. Heroes Painting is a proud sponsor of Football Fiesta and Heroes Hotline on Classic Country 90.9.
This is District Attorney Joe Fickwit serving Clay and Coosa counties. Telephone and online scams targeting our citizens are on the rise. If you get a suspicious call, hang up immediately and report it to your local law enforcement. Never give out personal or financial information over the phone. Let's protect our citizens and stop these criminals in their tracks. Stay alert, stay safe.
District Attorney Joe Fickwit is a proud sponsor of the Clay Central Sports Network.
We welcome you back here to Football Fiesta live from Monte Alban Bar and Grill on the Ashland Square. This is Rusty Taylor, Coach Chris Herron, Coach Jerry Weems. We've also got Heath Bone on the stream and Jeremy Character on the support. How about that? He's doing whatever we need, doing a great job, and he's been a great addition to our team this year. First of all, Coach Herron, I want you to just speak about the teams that we played that are still left in the playoffs right here. There's a couple of them.
Well, we got two of them left. Benjamin Russell, those Wildcats, they're now 12-1. They defeated Hueytown last week, 40-13. They're headed down close to where we were last week. They'll be playing Saraland this Friday night at Saraland. And Scottsboro, those 9-4 Wildcats, they defeated Fairview 16-14, and they will be at home this week. Scottsboro hosting Moody. Those Blue Devils making the trip from Moody up to Scottsboro in that semifinal game, North 5A. And that's the two of the opponents left from our schedule left in the semifinals, Ben Russell 6A, Scottsboro in 5A.
Coach Williams, listen, we're going to look at all brackets, and you're going to start us off with a 1A bracket.
All right, we've got a local team still alive in the 1A semifinal. That's Wadley, and they'll be traveling up north to Addison Friday night. And then Maplesville across the state there, they'll be playing Leroy, and that game is at Maplesville. And so we're actually probably looking at a Maplesville-Wadley championship game, which everybody is anticipating.
And it should be a good one. We look at 2A now, and that's where there's a rematch as Reeltown will travel to Lynette. That was a big region matchup there as Reeltown will go to Lynette. And then Coosa Christian will be on the road, Coach Russ Probst, to Pisgah, and that is your semifinals in 2A.
Class 3A will have Bayside Academy. They'll be hosting Southside Selma in the southern half of the 3A bracket. The north part of 3A, the north side, we've got Mars Hill. They'll be hosting the Piedmont Bulldogs. Your matchups in Class 3A semifinals this Friday night.
All right, looking at 4A, the Anniston Bulldogs, the undefeated Anniston team. They'll be traveling up to Plainview tomorrow night. And then the other semifinal is going to be a great game. Jackson,
another rematch there that's been talked about.
Jackson and St. Michael, a tremendous game right there in 4A.
Talking about rematches, as we stay down south, we've talked about it here. But the Viger Wolves will be traveling down to take on Williamson there in the 5A semifinals. And also Scottsboro. Scottsboro will be hosting Moody there in the semifinals. Good for Scottsboro. Of course, I think we beat them, 29-7 or something, and now they're riding home, but Scottsboro playing good football right now, and that is your semifinals.
They'll have their hands full with Moody.
Coach Sharon, you got 6A and 7A.
We got 6A. Hey, the Benjamin Russell Wildcats, they're going on the road for the first time this year. It's a semifinal matchup. They're traveling down to Saraland to take on Saraland at Saraland in the southern side of the Class 6A bracket. The north side of the bracket, Muscle Shoals. They'll be at home hosting the Clay Chalkville Cougars. And there's your matchups in Class 6A. And 7A, their finals are set after semifinal action this past Friday night. Opelika defeated Auburn 31-28 to advance to the 7A championship game. And the Thompson Warriors, they survived at Central of Phoenix City 35-34 to advance to the 7A championship game. 1 week from tomorrow night, on Wednesday night, they're in Birmingham at Progressive Stadium. Thompson and Opelika squaring off next Wednesday night for the 7A state championship.
Central Phoenix City actually went for 2 there to win that game and didn't get it. And as you said, Thompson held, and they'll be playing in another matchup. Auburn is common, but Opelika ain't been that long back in 6A, were they? When did they go back to 7A?
They hadn't been back terribly long, but you know what surprises them? Opelika's never won a championship.
They've played that. Yeah. Well, honestly, the way I remember them is usually getting put out in the semifinals.
Right.
Honestly, but that was a big win against Auburn at Auburn.
At Auburn, it sure was.
Last week, which, that was a big game. Well, Coach Heron, as we get ready, I should have gave you a little bit more of a chance, and you got just a minute now. You kind of kept up with the offensive line this year. Did you have a Hog of the Year?
Well, we will have Monday.
Okay,
we'll have that Monday. Yeah, we worked through that. Our Hogs didn't have a good week last night. We didn't grade out very well last Friday night, so getting those final grades worked in with what we've had all year long, and we will be announcing our Hog of the Week presented by Blair Family Farm and Market.
But you had a good year.
Oh, a great year overall. I mean, you rushed you outgained your opponent over 100 yards average each game. A running back over 1,500 yards rushing. Offensive line. They like to see that. That makes them feel they're a part of that. They've done well. Great group of guys there. 4 out of 5 seniors that played a lot of football. Tomlin, the one returner, they'll be coming back next year. But across there you had Peterson and Rice and Helms and Brown, and those guys played a lot of football along the line, and been fun watching those guys, keeping up with them, and they kind of paved the way to that 11-2 record, which is an outstanding season by any measure. You hate you lose the last game, and that taste you get in your mouth from that last ball game, but overall the season, a very good year for the Volunteers.
Coach Williams, as we kind of closes out our football season, sadly enough, but what do you want to say as we get ready to close it out?
Well, you're right. I mean, we've gone, if you count that opening jamboree, we went 14 weeks all together, and us 5 spent a lot of time together and had a lot of fun doing it and saw a lot of good football games. And I'll tell you this, I appreciate what Jeremy Character did for us this year. It really took a lot off me and allowed me to be able to concentrate on more what I was doing. I know it didn't sound like I was organized and all, but he took a lot off me doing those stats.
We're only as talented as we are, so you get what you get with us. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So,
but Jeremy did a great job doing that.
I agree. And speaking of that, as we get ready to close out this football season, first of all, to the Vol team, a great season, 11-2. Defeated. Were defeated by 2 teams that are still in the playoffs, playing in the semifinals, 6A and 5A. Also defeated a team that's still playing, and then you got the Hanley Tigers that just went out a couple of weeks ago. So the Volunteers played a difficult schedule, had a great season at 11-2. We all wanted more, but we're very proud, and we're very blessed here on the Southern Union State Community College Clay Central Sports Network to cover a great team, well coached, that play hard each and every Friday. And it's just fun to get to do. We're very blessed as a broadcast crew to get to cover who we get to cover. We appreciate all the coaches for allowing us to be inside and let us just be right there with them, and the interviews and all the time they've allowed us to spend. They're just open their doors to us and take care of us and allow us to be a part, and we're so thankful for that. We appreciate, again, Jeremy Character for his addition this year as stats, and you'll be hearing more from him as we continue to move forward through other sports. Obviously, Heathbone, putting it out there on the stream or whatever we need. He's always there doing what he needs to do and staying after it and working hard. Nobody cares about it more than Heath Stroud. Heathbone does a great job for us. Coach Chris Aaron, hey, Coach, the main thing he did, he got us back and forth safely to every game.
We never came close to an accident.
Yeah, I don't remember one. He done a great job, and as he always does, and having a good time. And for another year, Coach Weems, great. It's great to do football games in any sports with you. Your knowledge is unlike anybody else's, and you do a great job delivering it out there. I really enjoy listening back to the broadcast so I can listen to you, not me. So I enjoy that each and every Saturday.
Well, I'm looking forward to basketball. It's about to start, too.
Hey, we're about to kick that off. We'll be announcing that in the next few days. But for this season, for this football season, and now transferring in to volunteer basketball, you'll be hearing about that. Thank you. God bless, and go Vols.
You've been listening to Football Fiesta, part of the Southern Union State Community College Clay Central Sports Network, a production of Radio Alabama Sports and the Radio Alabama Foundation. Sponsored by Catch 'em All Sporting Goods, Heroes Painting, Farr and Associates Injury Attorneys, Young's Drugstore, Perry Land Foods, Everything Sports, and Clay and Coosa County District Attorney Joe Fickwit. This broadcast is copyrighted by Radio Alabama for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast without Radio Alabama's consent is strictly prohibited. Thanks for listening.
This has been a presentation of Radio Alabama Sports. This broadcast is copyrighted by Radio Alabama for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast, descriptions, or accounts of the game without Radio Alabama's consent is strictly prohibited. Thanks for listening.
Classic Country 90.9 is WFAZ-FM Goodwater, Ashland, Lineville, home of the Clay Central Volunteers on the Southern Union State Community College Clay Central Sports Network.